Are you confident you could spot a scammer if they called you today? 92% of seniors report receiving at least one scam attempt every single month. After studying over 15,000 fraud cases targeting people aged 65 and older, investigators have uncovered 5 rapidly spreading scams that are stealing millions of dollars from unsuspecting older adults. The insights you're about to discover could completely protect you and your loved ones from devastating financial loss. These aren't the old scams you've heard about before. Criminals have become sophisticated, using new technology and psychological tactics specifically designed to trick seniors. The 5th scam will completely surprise you because it uses something you trust every single day. What you're about to learn could save you from losing your life savings and protect your identity from thieves who prey on kindness and trust. You're here for protection against scams targeting seniors, and that's exactly what you're going to get. But I'm also sharing the exact psychological tricks scammers use to manipulate older adults that most people never learn. And wait until you hear about the 5th scam. It's the most important part of everything we'll discuss. The reality is, seniors lose over $3 billion annually to scammers in the United States alone. But you have the power to change that. Please watch every minute of this video because understanding these scams could save you or someone you love from financial devastation. If you know someone over 60, this could be exactly the information they've been looking for. These scams succeed because they exploit trust, create fear, and rush you into decisions. Scammers study what works on seniors specifically. They know older adults are more likely to be polite, helpful, and trusting. They understand that many seniors live alone and crave connection. But armed with knowledge, you become nearly impossible to fool. Scam number 1, the AI voice cloning emergency. This next one will shock you because it uses technology that sounds exactly like your loved ones. Meet Patricia, a 76-year-old grandmother who received a frantic phone call at 9 o'clock at night. The voice on the line sounded exactly like her grandson Michael, sobbing and desperate. He said he had been arrested after a car accident in another state and needed $5,000 immediately for bail. He begged her not to tell his parents because he was embarrassed. Patricia could hear him crying. The voice sounded identical to Michael, even using his nickname for her. Terrified and wanting to help, she rushed to wire the money as instructed. The next morning she called her daughter only to discover Michael was safe at home. He had never left town. What happened next revealed a terrifying new scam technology. Here's what Patricia discovered. Scammers are using artificial intelligence to clone voices from social media videos and create fake emergency calls that sound exactly like your family members. Research from the Federal Trade Commission shows that voice cloning scams have increased by 370% in just the past year. Criminals find videos of your grandchildren or family members on social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. Using free AI software, they can clone that voice from just 3 seconds of audio. They then call seniors pretending to be that loved one in desperate trouble, needing immediate money for bail, medical emergencies, or kidnapping ransom. The emotional manipulation is devastating because the voice sounds completely real. How can you tell if you're receiving a fake emergency call? Pay attention to calls coming late at night when you're less alert and more emotional, urgent demands for money through wire transfer, gift cards, or cryptocurrency, and requests to keep the emergency secret from other family members. You might notice the caller refuses to answer specific personal questions only the real person would know. And you could also experience intense pressure to act immediately without time to think. These aren't just warning signs, they're deliberate tactics designed to bypass your logical thinking. The good news is, you can protect yourself with a simple family code word. Start by establishing a secret emergency code word with all family members that only your family knows, and gradually practice asking for this code word whenever anyone claims to need urgent money. Throughout any suspicious call, tell the caller you'll hang up and call your family member directly at their known phone number. The beautiful part is real emergencies can wait 5 minutes for verification, and you can protect your money by never sending funds before confirming the story through multiple trusted sources. If you've ever felt your heart race with panic when you thought a loved one was in danger, you know how powerful that fear feels and how it overrides your usual caution. But this next one is even more important. Scam number 2, the utility disconnection threat. This one might surprise you because it targets something you depend on every single day. Let me tell you about George, 73 years old and living on a fixed retirement income. He received a call from someone claiming to be from his electric company. The caller had his account number, his address, and knew his payment history. They said his electricity would be shut off within 2 hours due to a missed payment unless he paid $850 immediately through a prepaid debit card. George was confused because he always paid his bills on time. But the caller sounded official and urgent. Worried about losing power, especially with his medications that needed refrigeration, George drove to the store and bought the cards. Only after giving the codes to the caller did he check his actual electric bill and realize he was fully paid. What George learned changed how he handles all utility calls forever. The truth is, scammers impersonate utility companies, internet providers, and phone companies to scare seniors into immediate payment using fear of service disconnection. Studies conducted at the Better Business Bureau found that utility impersonation scams have become the third most common fraud targeting seniors. Scammers obtain real customer information through data breaches or public records, making their calls seem legitimate. They create artificial urgency by threatening immediate service shutoff, often claiming a technician is already en route to disconnect service. They demand payment through untraceable methods like prepaid cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency, which real utilities never require. For seniors who remember when losing utilities meant genuine hardship, this threat triggers deep fear. What are the warning signs of utility scam calls? Watch for threats of immediate disconnection within hours, demands for payment through gift cards or wire transfers, and callers who become aggressive or threatening when questioned. You may experience high-pressure tactics that don't allow time to verify information, and you could also notice the caller ID shows a number similar to but not exactly matching your real utility company. These signals are designed to create panic that prevents clear thinking. Here's the empowering truth: legitimate utilities never demand immediate payment through untraceable methods or threaten instant disconnection without prior written notice. Begin with hanging up immediately on any threatening utility call. Then slowly look up your utility company's official number from your bill or their website. As you go about verification, call that number directly to check your account status before paying anything. What's wonderful is real utility companies will work with you on payment plans. Plus, you'll find that taking control of the situation instead of reacting in fear protects you completely. Anyone who is worried about losing essential services like heat, electricity, or water understands the vulnerability and fear these threats create. Have you ever received a threatening call about your utilities? Let me know in the comments. And if you're finding these tips helpful, make sure to subscribe, because we share practical advice for seniors that can make daily life easier and more enjoyable. However, what I'm about to share is even more powerful. Scam number 3, the Social Security suspension scam. Here's something that will frighten anyone who depends on Social Security. Picture this, Dorothy, an 80-year-old widow living alone on Social Security benefits. She answered her phone to hear an automated message saying her Social Security number had been suspended due to suspicious activity. The message sounded official with background office noises and formal language. It instructed her to press 1 to speak with a Social Security Administration agent immediately or face arrest. Frightened, Dorothy pressed 1. A man claiming to be Agent Williams said her Social Security number was linked to criminal activity, including drug trafficking. He had her full name, address, and Social Security number. He said she needed to prove her innocence by moving her money to a protected government account. What happened next cost Dorothy her entire life savings of $42,000. What Dorothy learned changed everything. The Social Security Administration never calls to threaten suspension arrest or demand money, yet scammers impersonate them successfully thousands of times daily. A groundbreaking study from the Office of Inspector General revealed that Social Security impersonation scams have cost seniors over $600 million in the past 3 years alone. Scammers use spoofed caller ID to make calls appear to come from real Social Security offices. They create elaborate stories about suspended benefits, criminal investigations, or identity theft requiring immediate action. They may even send fake badge numbers or transfer calls to accomplices pretending to be police officers or federal agents. For seniors whose Social Security benefits represent their only income, the threat of losing them creates overwhelming panic. How do you know if a Social Security call is fake? Look out for any call claiming your Social Security number is suspended, blocked, or compromised. Threats of arrest, legal action, or criminal charges unless you pay immediately, and demands for payment through gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency. Some people notice requests to verify your Social Security number or other personal information over the phone, while others experience pressure to stay on the line and not hang up or tell anyone. These indicators are deliberate intimidation tactics designed to control you through fear. The encouraging reality is the real Social Security Administration only contacts people through official mail and never threatens or demands immediate payment. Take the first step by hanging up immediately on any call claiming to be from Social Security that threatens you or asks for money. And over time, report the incident to the real Social Security fraud hotline. During any legitimate concerns, visit your local Social Security office in person or call their official number from SSA.gov. The amazing thing is government agencies work through proper channels and documentation, and you'll discover that real officials will never rush or threaten you. People who have lived through the Depression or other financial hardships can relate to the terror of losing the income that keeps you fed and housed. Yet this pales in comparison to what follows. Scam number 4, the grandparent bail. Scam with a twist. What I'm about to share will surprise anyone with grandchildren. Consider Helen and her neighbor Margaret, both 78 years old. Helen received a call from someone claiming to be a police officer saying her granddaughter was arrested and needed $3,000 bail immediately. The caller used high-pressure tactics and refused to let Helen verify the story. Helen, remembering scam warnings, hung up and called her granddaughter directly. Her granddaughter was fine. Margaret received a similar call, but the scammer added a new twist. They sent Margaret a fake video call showing what looked like her grandson in jail, created using AI technology and photos from social media. Believing what she saw, Margaret sent the money. The difference between Helen's safety and Margaret's loss was understanding how sophisticated these scams have become. Here's the reality. Grandparent scams now use deepfake video technology and fake arrest records to make their lies appear completely real and verified. Researchers have found that traditional grandparent scams have evolved with new technology, making them nearly impossible to detect without proper knowledge. Scammers create fake video calls using AI deepfake technology that makes actors look and sound like your grandchildren. They fabricate official-looking arrest records and court documents that appear on fake government websites. They may have accomplices play roles as lawyers, judges, or bail bondsmen to add layers of credibility. For grandparents who would do anything to protect their grandchildren, these enhanced scams are devastatingly effective. The signs of these advanced grandparent scams include video calls or photos that seem slightly off with unnatural movements or lighting requests to keep the situation secret from parents or other family members, and demands for payment through unusual methods before you can see your grandchild. You might find yourself being told that the arrest involves embarrassing charges your grandchild doesn't want family knowing about. And you may discover multiple people involved in the story, including lawyers or court officials. These symptoms are carefully orchestrated to prevent you from checking the facts. What's hopeful is you can protect yourself with verification steps that no scammer can fake. You can start today by establishing family code words or security questions that only real family members know, and progressively insist on speaking directly to your grandchild on their known cell phone before sending any money. In your everyday life, tell anyone requesting bail money that you'll contact the police department or courthouse directly using numbers you find independently. The rewarding aspect is real legal situations always allow time for family contact and verification, and you'll realize that criminals cannot maintain their lies when you slow down and verify through official channels. Those of us who have felt desperate to protect our grandchildren recognize how that protective instinct can override our normal skepticism and caution. Which of these scams surprised you the most? Share your thoughts below. And if these strategies are making sense to you, please subscribe so you don't miss more tips that can improve your health and independence. But the following scam is the most crucial. Scam number 5, the fake charity disaster relief scam. Now for the final and most important scam to avoid. This one is particularly heartbreaking because it exploits your desire to help people during their worst moments. Most people believe that charitable organizations are trustworthy and that giving during disasters helps those in need. But what they don't realize is that scammers specifically target generous seniors after every natural disaster, tragedy, or crisis. Meet Robert and his wife Ellen, both 83 years old today. For years, Robert and Ellen had donated regularly to legitimate charities through their church. After seeing news coverage of devastating wildfires, they received a call from someone claiming to represent a disaster relief organization. The caller knew about their past charitable giving and praised their generosity. They described heartbreaking stories of families who lost everything and needed immediate help. The organization's name sounded similar to a real charity Robert recognized. Moved by compassion, Robert donated $2,000 using his credit card over the phone. Within days, charges for $5,000 additional dollars appeared on his card. When Robert tried to contact the charity, the number was disconnected. What made the difference for other seniors who avoided this scam was understanding how to verify charitable organizations before giving. Here's what changes everything: scammers create fake charities immediately after disasters using names similar to real organizations and emotional stories to steal from kind-hearted seniors who genuinely want to help. Evidence from the Federal Emergency Management Agency proves that fake charity scams spike dramatically within 24 hours of any natural disaster, terrorist attack, or public tragedy. Criminals register websites with names nearly identical to legitimate charities, changing just one letter or word. They use emotional manipulation describing suffering children, displaced families, or injured victims to trigger immediate giving without verification. They pressure donors with claims that the situation is urgent and help is needed right now. They request payment through wire transfers, gift cards, or by collecting credit card information that they use for identity theft. For seniors who grew up valuing generosity and helping neighbors, these scams are particularly cruel. How can you tell if a charity request is fraudulent? Pay attention to unsolicited calls, emails, or door-to-door solicitors asking for disaster donations, especially immediately after news events. Pressure to donate immediately, without time to research the organization, and vague descriptions of how donations will be used, or inability to provide tax ID numbers. You might notice requests for payment through cash, gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency rather than checks. And you could also experience high-pressure emotional tactics or guilt trips if you hesitate. These aren't just aggressive fundraising, they're signs of criminal fraud. The positive news is legitimate charities welcome questions and never pressure immediate donations. Make your first move by researching any charity through trusted verification websites like charitynavigator.org or givewell.org before donating. and step-by-step ask specific questions about how donations will be used and request written information. Within your normal routine, give only to charities you initiate contact with, never to those who call you unexpectedly. The satisfying result is your generosity actually helps real people in need, and you'll experience the joy of giving without the devastation of being scammed. When you've wanted to help suffering people and felt the pull of compassion during disasters, you realize how powerful that desire to make a difference truly is. This alone could protect your financial security while ensuring your charitable spirit helps real people instead of enriching criminals. Looking back, what we've uncovered today goes far beyond simple scam awareness. These 5 scams, AI voice cloning utility threats, Social Security impersonation, enhanced grandparent scams, and fake charities, aren't just about protecting your money. They're about preserving your dignity, independence, and ability to trust others. The good news is, knowledge is your strongest defense against these criminals. You're not helpless against sophisticated scammers. The choices you make about verifying information, slowing down when pressured, and trusting your instincts can protect you completely. If you've recognized any of these tactics from calls you've received, know that you're not alone, and you can learn to spot and stop these scams. Tonight or today, share this information with at least one other senior you know. Talk with your family about establishing emergency code words. Write down the official phone numbers for your utilities, Social Security, and trusted charities so you always have them when needed. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share whether you've encountered any of these scams and how you handled them. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to having you join us again in the next video.